If you're a boss of your own company, what type of employees would you want to hire? I know what you're thinking of right now. It must definitely be someone who has a perfect background, one who has a dedicated mentality, and even one who presents themselves well. However, you realize that the world is filled with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everyone isn't perfect. My uncle was an ex-convict, and today's sharing will be all about the Yellow Ribbon Project. From 2014 to 2015, there was almost a 10% rise in inmates securing jobs before their release from prison, up from 1,865 to 2,042. Since these numbers are not high at all, we should try even more to help them integrate back into society. I would like you to ponder about a thought. What if your neighbor, uncle, or even your father was an ex-convict? Are you going to treat them differently, even to those whom you know well or even related by blood? My father's younger brother, Eugene, was a drug addict. His first experience with drugs was when he was only 16 years old. He fell prey and succumbed, eventually getting addicted to smoking a drug called marijuana. He got caught in the act, which led him to be sentenced to charges involving the possession and consumption of marijuana. I remember my grandparents bailing him out, yet he was not repentant despite my grandparents' disappointment. His life, however, turned for a complete change where he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. This close shave to death made him realize that if he continued smoking marijuana, his health would deteriorate. In a bid to change, he enrolled himself in a halfway house for the next 5 years and tried to stay clean. Yet, finding employment was tough. He thought he would never get a chance to fulfill a proper life. Fortunately, he was offered a job as a dispatch rider after many fruitless attempts. My uncle stayed clean of drugs and saved up all his money from being a dispatch rider, eventually starting his own business, hiring ex-convicts as his employees. Singapore Corporation on Rehabilitative Enterprise, also known as SCORE, gives companies a chance to register themselves to give these ex-offenders a second chance. Another initiative is the Yellow Ribbon Project. As quoted from their website, they seek to engage the community in giving ex-offenders a second chance at life and to inspire a ripple effect of concerted community action to support ex-offenders and their families. Through the Yellow Ribbon Project, they hope to generate greater awareness for the need for second chances, inspire more Singaporeans to accept ex-offenders into their lives, and lastly, encourage more to come forward to demonstrate support for the campaign. Now, why should we give them a second chance? Ex-offenders are constantly stereotyped as people who are bad examples, who have poor sense of responsibility, who exhibit the worst behavior. Yes, ex-offenders might have fallen into the cracks, but many pick themselves up from where they left off. Shouldn't they deserve an applause for that realization? Like my uncle, each and every one of the ex-convicts wants to change themselves to be a better person. I cannot deny that there are people who will not change their mindset towards this group of people. But if you put in the effort to see them in a different light, I'm sure the social stigma would be eradicated. If you think about it, why they are not able to settle down properly in life is because of us. We don't allow them to have the ease of integrating back into society and to be accepted completely, just like any of us. It is due to our mindset that all of them are not to be trusted. Being able to completely embrace them is the key to having an inclusive society, flaws and all. I know changing one's mindset is and can be challenging, but just trying is good enough to make a change. Even sharing and reposting anything related to aiding with unlocking the second prison can make a difference. The power of social media can create new miracles. What are we hesitating about? As much as we like to be accepted for who and what we are, ex-convicts deserve that new lease of life. Because change starts with you, and only you can give them a second chance at life. As teenagers, we are not in a position where our goodwill efforts will directly impact them and potentially change their lives for the better. However, no effort is infertile. You can also post campaigns to champion for this cause, such as the Yellow Ribbon Project. If you would like to have any takeaways from my speech, I strongly urge you to remember to give them a second chance to rehab, renew and restart. Let's make this campaign a truly heartwarming and successful one. Do each our own bit and part, cause each drop makes an ocean.